Abby the Labby is laying down. Y'all want to check out Abby the Labby? Alrighty. Well, now that we're all in position, let's answer your questions. Yay! Hey y'all, my name is Whitney Nicely from She Buys It and Whitney Buys Houses, and I am here to answer your questions this week. So the game plan is that on Mondays here in the group, I put up a post that says, what kind of questions do you have about real estate investing? And then on Tuesdays, I come into the group and I go live and I answer your questions. So in the description over there, am I pointing the wrong way? Yeah, right there. I think. Okay, right there. Those are the questions that we're going to answer today. And if you have any questions that you want me to answer, then every Monday, there will be a post that comes out that says, what kind of questions do you have? And then on Tuesdays, I'll answer that question or those questions. And this is the same kind of rhythm that we use in First Deal Done Fast. This is the same rhythm that we use in Apartment Blitz. This is the same rhythm that we use in Private Money Profits. And it's the same rhythm that we use in Vacation Rental Riches. But even more than that, this is the exact same rhythm that we use in the Mastermind. All right, the She Buys It Mastermind. So the Mastermind and I get together every Tuesday. I answer their questions. We celebrate their wins. I find out what kind of deals they've got going on. And we rock and roll and encourage each other to get those deals done fast. Then in First Deal Done Fast, Apartment Blitz, Private Money Profits, and Vacation Rental Riches, I answer the questions in First Deal Done Fast that come up every single week. My husband, Jason, answers the questions in Apartment Blitz every week. April Crosley answers the questions in Private Money Profits, and Joanne Black answers the questions in Vacation Rental Riches. So it's not just me. There are other experts out here helping you get these deals done. So I'm super happy to help you. And if you're interested in getting your first deal done fast, you can go to getyourfirstdeal.com. There's a free masterclass to check it out. Or you can go to apartmentblitz.com if you're into multifamily. Or you can go to privatemoneyprofits.com if you're into fixing and flipping and funding deals. Or you can go to vacationrentalriches.com and find out how to turn your house into a vacation rental house. Okay? I'm here to help you. I help women buy investment houses without banks or a license. And we put all of that together for She Buys It Live, which is a 4-day event in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's November 6th through the 9th of 2019, and you can get your ticket, get your VIP ticket on SheBuysItLive.com. I'm going to put that link right here. SheBuysItLive.com. And She Buys It Live is awesome because we're going to cover houses, we're going to cover apartments, we're going to cover money, we're going to cover vacation rentals, and we're going to cover a couple of surprises, all regarding negotiating with your seller. All right, this year's focus of She Buys It Live is negotiating like a lady. And I want you to be there. Knoxville, November 6th through the 9th. It's 3 days in the classroom. And then that 4th day, we have 30 seats left. We're going to take a bus tour of my houses. We're going to go see my honey holes so that I can show you, like show and tell. I'll show you my deals. I'll tell you about how I got these deals done and what I'm now using these houses to do because I'm into apartments and funding deals now. And I have a vacation rental house now. I didn't have all of that last year. So this year will be awesome. And I'm super excited for She Buys It Live. We've already sold 8 tickets. I've got about 10 ladies in the mastermind that are coming. So that's 18 tickets that are sold. And the first 50 people that get a ticket to She Buys It Live can go on our bus tour. The bus only holds 52 or 56 people, but I've got a team and stuff, so we can only have 50 guests on the boat, on the bus, not the boat. Boat is a different activity. All right, but you want to get your ticket to She Buys It Live now so that you are definitely on the confirmed list instead of the wait list for the bus. All right, go to SheBuysItLive.com. And I forget to mention this all the time, but I'm going to mention it right now. If you like to listen to podcasts and you like real estate investing podcasts, I'm going to drop a link right here. I don't know if you know this, but we have a She Buys It podcast, and we have 5 episodes up. It's new, but one thing that we're going to start doing the end of this month, the next month, and into August, I'm going to be interviewing all the ladies in First Still Done Fast. I'm going to be interviewing my family. I'm going to be interviewing the other guest experts that help me with the She Buys It team. I'm going to be interviewing my friends who are real estate investors so that we can help more women become super successful real estate investors now. All right. So whether you are or not, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. Say, I am a successful real estate investor now. All right. We do this on the YouTube channel. WhitneyNicely.com/TV. That third link right there, WhitneyNicely.com/TV, that'll take you straight to the She Buys It YouTube channel. I am about 41 subscribers away from hitting 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if you would, please, we have enough people in this group. There's going to be enough people watching this video that if everybody subscribes to the YouTube channel, I will hit 5,000 subscribers and I'll be able to help more people get more deals done. All right, so go hit the subscribe button on the She Buys It YouTube channel. And while you're hitting the subscribe button, go to the podcast link and hit the podcast subscribe button so that you can get this information on the go. Yay! All right, so go ahead down there in the comments right now. I'm going to type it out the first time, and then I want you to type it out. I am a successful real estate investor now. All right. I want you to type that out. I want you to get a yellow pad of paper, and I want you to write it 50 times a day for the next 10 years or however long it takes for you to really feel like a successful real estate investor. All right. That's enough for me. That's enough. That's enough of the She Buys It information. Let's get to your questions. And I'm laughing because over here on my other screen where I have the questions, Kendra has sent me a message and her papa has found 30 properties in the last 3 hours while they've been driving for dollars. So her and her papa are going to buy houses now. I just love Kendra and her papa. She's so cute with him, just like I used to be with my papa. So Kendra, get out there, do those deals, and give your papa a hug from me. Okay? All right. Let's answer these questions. I think I've already answered one of these questions. Toya has the first question, and she says, Dear Abby the Labby, because I put a picture of Abby the Labby up on the post. Give me more information about Knoxville this November. Will you send me the information? Yes, Toya, I will. It is called She Buys It Live, and I will put the link in the comment again. She Buys It Live. This is Knoxville, November. Hold on, let me do one thing at a time. SheBuysItLive.com. This is in Knoxville, November 6th through the 9th. And like I said earlier, you want to go ahead and get your ticket now because there's only 30 seats left on the bus. And you want to make sure that you get your ticket now so that you will have a seat on the bus so that you can go check out all of my properties. Yay! As far as I know, this is the only real estate investing event where when you do a bus tour, you actually do a tour of the main person, me, and actually see their properties. I've been to other real estate investing events and I've done other bus tours, but we always just end up looking at foreclosed houses that nobody knows nothing about and nobody's been involved with. And I learn best by storytelling and by seeing it, and sometimes by going and touching it. And this is the best that I can do. I can't go back to 2014 or 2015 and have everybody sitting in the room with me when I was with the seller, but I can load everybody up on a bus and take you and show you the houses and tell you how it happened, tell you what marketing I used, tell you what negotiating I used, tell you which contract I used, and then tell you how it worked out 5 years down the road. That way you can go back to your market, your honey hole, and you can say, all right, that looks like Whitney's house on Cedarwood, or that seller sounds like the seller Whitney dealt with on Burns Road. All right. But once you see it and you can touch it and you kind of get a feel for it, it just becomes so much more real to you. And that's what I want. I want you to really be a successful real estate investor. All right, so that's the best I can do. Go to SheBuysItLive.com right now and get your VIP ticket to She Buys It Live and plan on being in Knoxville November 6th through the 9th. All right, Sarah Seaton, who is a landlord here close to me in Knoxville. She's a lady landlord that I love to run around with. And Sarah, you would be an awesome guest expert for the She Buys It podcast. So, Sarah, I don't have that link handy dandy. Oopsie. I'm answering the Whitney Buys Houses phone right now, so let me turn this off so that I can talk to you and focus on you. On Tuesdays, I do all my coaching, and I answer the Whitney Buys Houses phone in the meantime. I've got 6 houses out available right now, so my phone rings a lot. I actually do what I preach. I'm a duru, not a guru. I'm a duru. I do it. Anyway, Sarah, you would be an awesome guest expert for the She Buys It podcast. So I will send you a message in Facebook Messenger with a link so that you can get booked and I can interview you for the podcast because you are an awesome lady landlord. Okay, but your question is about 1031 exchange. How do I keep my depreciation going? So a 1031 exchange is basically where you defer your taxes. A lot of people advertise it as tax-free, but it's not tax-free, okay? You've got to pay your taxes. You've got to pay your income taxes. You've got to pay your property taxes. You've got to pay your sales taxes, your capital gains taxes. You've got to pay them. But a 1031 says you don't have to pay them now. You can pay them later. And then when you go to sell that property again, you can choose if you want to pay them now or if you want to pay them later. All right. The 1031 exchange is a loophole for rich people who are doing lots of buying and selling properties. And what you're doing is basically, I'm going to have to draw this out. So let's say that you bought a house and you went to sell it. And I've never done a 1031 exchange. This is just the way I understand it. You go to sell it and you make $10,000. Okay, so you bought a house and you sold it and you made $10,000. Or let's have more fun. You bought a house and you sold it and you made $100,000. See how one little zero makes everything a lot more fun? So you bought a house, you flipped it, you sold it, you made $100,000. You can pay the taxes on this $100,000, or you can say you're going to do a 1031 exchange, and therefore you roll those proceeds into your next property. Okay, you roll your proceeds into your next property. So let's say you bought a house, you fixed and flipped it, you made $100,000. Then you said you're going to do a 1031 exchange, which basically in your contract means you have to outline 3 properties and close in 90 days. Okay? When you say I'm going to do a 1031 exchange and I'm going to roll this $100,000, you already have to have 3 properties dedicated to this. Abby just fell. You have to have 3 properties and you have to close on one of those 3 properties in 90 days. 90 days or 180 days. I don't know. But I do know that when you sell this and you get $100,000, to do a 1031, you have to have 3 properties and you have to close on one of those 3 properties in the next 90 to 180 days. I don't really know if it's 90 or 180. Okay. But if you don't close on one of those 3 properties, you lose your 1031 exchange abilities. Okay. So you make $100,000 and you declare that you're going to do a 1031 exchange and you say that you're going to buy either 123 Main Street or 456 Blue Street or 789 Abbey Street. All right. You can either use that $100,000 and put down on an apartment complex on Main Street. You can use that $100,000 and pay cash for 456 Blue Street, or you can use that $100,000 and put half of it down on 789 Abbey Street. But you're just rolling the taxes to the next property, which has to be one of those 3 properties, and you have to close in the next 90 to 180 days. I've never done this. I have 2 properties that I would love to do this with, but I haven't ever done this. That's why I'm not exactly sure on the number of days. So if you are in a tax bracket where you're paying 40% capital gains, technically, if you sell a house and make $100,000, you have to give 40, and we're using basic math here, to Uncle Sam if you don't do a 1031 exchange. But if you do a 1031 exchange, then you don't cancel that out. You just roll it to your next deal. So then you do your next deal, and this depends also, that's probably on short-term capital gains, so you didn't have it for 365 days or more. Long-term capital gains is 366 days or more. So you roll it to your next property. So let's say you put that $100,000 into the purchase of another property, and then in 6 months you flip it and you make $150,000. Well, now, okay, now we didn't pay the taxes on the 100, and now we have $150,000. So we're going to do another 1031 and put that $150,000 into 3 more properties. We have to dedicate 3 properties, and we have to close in the next 90 to 100 days. And now we're going to owe $150,000 worth of taxes in the future. Okay, so that's what a 1031 exchange does. Instead of paying that lump of whatever you would owe right there in the beginning, you roll it, you defer it. And as far as I know, there's no law, there's no code through the IRS that ever says how many 1031 exchanges you can do. So technically, this is how a lot of rich people do deals. They do a deal and roll the proceeds and roll the proceeds and roll the proceeds and roll the proceeds. And at the end of their life, if they haven't rolled the proceeds into a trust or rolled the proceeds into an LLC and then given control of that trust or LLC to somebody else, then at the end of their life, they're looking at a huge tax bill, way more than if they would have paid 40 here, 40 here, 40 here, and 40 here, because they've rolled it all up. And a lot of people get those big tax deferred tax hits and an inheritance tax at the same time when mom and dad die, or when grandpa dies, or when, you know, the bill comes due, or when they forget to do a 1031 and they just buy something. Now, also on 1031, it has to be a like-kind exchange, which means if you're buying and selling real estate, then you have to be buying and selling real estate. You can't buy and sell real estate and then start buying and selling art, because that is not a like-kind exchange. But if you're buying and selling real estate and you're buying and selling real estate, then that's fine. You can start buying and selling houses, then buying and selling apartments, then buying and selling industrial land, because all of that is still real estate. You can't start buying and selling land, buying and selling houses, then buying and selling jewelry, because that is not a like-kind exchange. Jewelry could be an investment, art can be an investment, wine can be an investment, alpacas could be an investment. Anything could be an investment, but in order for it to kick in on the 1031 exchange, it has to be a like-kind exchange. And again, I've never done a 1031 exchange, so I haven't experienced it. This is just what I understand of it. So Sarah, your question is, how do I keep my depreciation going? you have to keep doing 1031 exchanges, or whenever you don't either close on one of those three in the next 90 to 80 days, you're going to get a tax hit, and it could be from all of the previous properties that you've been rolling that 1030 exchange on. A lot of people, a lot of investors, you'll see them close on a property and you've done the numbers and you've looked at it and you've said, there's no way they're making money if they're buying it for that. But sure enough, you see the property transfer and they paid way too much money for a deal. But they may have done it because that was one of their three properties in a 1031 exchange, and the other two were even worse. Or the other two went under contract with other people, and once you lock in those three properties, you can't change them out. So they did it to avoid maybe a big tax hit. A lot of times I see investors do that because they would rather have their money in a property than pay the taxes, because who knows how long they've been deferring the taxes through 1031 exchanges. After I complete a 1031 exchange, I will have more information and more guidance on that. But as far as I understand, you just got to keep doing them forever and ever, amen. And make sure your kids keep doing them forever and ever, amen, to keep the taxes deferred. But eventually, somebody's going to have to pay the piper. And sometimes people that inherit the properties don't know that they are supposed to do the 1031 exchange, and so they just end up selling it, or they have such a big tax bill that they end up having to sell the majority of the portfolio just to pay the taxes. So talk to your accountant, talk to your tax advisor, talk to your attorney, talk to your trust person, and then teach your kids how to do real estate. Good question. All right. Lisa has a question. She says, I'm saving money for First Deal Done Fast, but in the meantime, what is the absolute best thing that I can do to get started now? Like as in today. What's the main thing I should put my focus on is my main question. Lisa, if I were you, go to getyourfirstdeal.com. I'm going to put that link right here. Getyourfirstdeal.com. There's a free masterclass, and I talk about some of the ways that the ladies are getting deals done. You can for sure let your friends and family know. I put a video up from YouTube yesterday. The easiest way for you to get started getting deals done is to talk to people. It is free to talk to people, and you're going to talk to people all day at work. You're going to talk to people all day on the internet. You're going to talk to people all day at your kids' practice. Most of us are surrounded by people all the time. So if you start telling people that you want to buy houses, even if you don't know how, even if you don't know the proper process, even if you don't know when you're going to be able to do this and when things are going to align for you and all that stuff. First of all, we have a payment plan for First Deal Done Fast, and we offer PayPal credit with 6 months, no payments, no interest. So there's very few excuses not to get started today. I did turn a girl down yesterday who wanted to get into the mastermind, but she wasn't financially ready for that. So I turned her down for the mastermind. And then we started talking about getting her into First Deal Done Fast. And then I turned her down for getting into First Deal Done Fast. And I don't do that a lot. I think that's probably the first time I've ever actually turned somebody down to get into First Deal Done Fast. No, that's a lie. There have been several people that I've turned down from getting into First Deal Done Fast, but this lady in particular is trying to buy a primary house, and her closing is in like less than 2 weeks. So I would not allow her, I told her that, I wouldn't allow her to get into First Deal Done Fast yesterday because I didn't want that purchase to screw up or delay the closing on her personal primary house. I turned her down. I wouldn't let her in First Deal Done Fast yesterday. So that is one of the reasons you should not get into First Deal Done Fast. But a lot of other excuses or reasons people give me to not again get into First Deal Done Fast is mostly just fear. just fear. And that is a crappy excuse. But if that is your excuse, then you should probably get started. Because this world is rolling, and if you're going to actually create passive income and you're going to actually create generational wealth, you need to get started yesterday. And fear is a crappy excuse to hold on to because it's not going to pay you. So besides that, lady, there are no excuses to get in. All right. If fear is your excuse not to get in First Still Done Fast, that's a crappy excuse. But anyway, back to your question. The main thing that you should be doing is telling people that you buy houses. And if that comes out as you texting your friends and family, then do that. If that comes out from you posting on Facebook that you buy houses, then do that. If that comes from you, well, we send you these yellow buttons. When you get in First Still Done Fast that say, I buy houses, that's upside down. We send you these buttons when you get into First Still Done Fast that says, I buy houses. And these buttons actually help you buy houses, because why else would you wear this ugly yellow button unless you buy houses? And these buttons work on everything. They're magnetized, so you can put it right there and it pops out. And you can wear it upside down like that, because then people will say, your button's upside down. Oh, gee. Oh, I'll fix it later. Do you have a house you want to sell? A lot of times people will just tell you that because it's a good, easy way for them to break the ice and start talking to you. So I encourage the girls to wear the buttons upside down, crooked. You can't hardly wear them backwards. But even if you do wear it right side up, it works all the time. And when you wear the button and then you go to talk to a seller, you've got a badge on that says, I buy houses. They know you buy houses, because if you don't buy houses, you're not going to wear some ugly button like this on your pretty Lily Pulitzer dress. They're also magnets so that you can wear them on a silk shirt. You can wear it on a t-shirt. You can magnetize it to your bag. You can put it on a jacket. These things work. But the number one main thing that you should do and that you can do even before you get into First Still Done Fast is start telling everybody. Tell the people you go to church with, tell the people that you hang out on Friday nights with, tell the people on your kids' ball teams, tell anybody and everybody, because one thing that I preach and I fully believe, and we talk about this in First Still Done Fast all the time, is that everybody is a lead source. Every single person knows somebody who hates their landlord. Everybody knows somebody with a bad landlord story, whether it was them as the landlord or them as the tenant, or whether they just know somebody who has a crappy landlord. Every single person you talk to, everybody that comes within 3 feet of you, online or offline, everybody knows somebody with a crappy landlord story. They're either a helicopter landlord or they're an absentee landlord or something. But those landlords, those people, those connections, that's what you need to start doing deals. So you got to start telling everybody. If you tell 100 people a day, that gives you 100 chances to plant 100 seeds. And it only takes the faith of a mustard seed to make these mountains move. All right. When you start telling everybody that you buy houses, one of those seeds will take root, because somebody will be at their job. Somebody will be at their kids' practice. Somebody will be in their Sunday school room. And somebody will have a real estate problem. And you'll go, or they will go, oh, I was talking to Lisa the other day and she buys houses. If you've got a real estate problem, you should call my friend Lisa. And then boom, you've got a lead. Boom, you've got 10 leads. Boom, you've got 100 people out there helping you look for deals. Janine told me on the mastermind call today that one of her friends found a for sale by owner sign and told her about it. And Janine lives in California, and California doesn't really do FSBO signs. but miracles happen all the time. Janine's been with me in the mastermind for going on 2 years now. And she just got her first FSBO sign. And it came because she tells everybody that she buys houses. So when people see stuff that they think she would be interested in, they tell her about it. And that is free. It's free. It just takes some brass ovaries to start telling people that you are a successful real estate investor. It takes some brass ovaries to tell people that you want to buy houses. It takes some brass ovaries for you to start telling people that you want to be a successful real estate investor. So start right here in the group. Type that in the comments. I am a successful real estate investor. Put that out there. And then start telling the people on your personal profile that you're a successful real estate investor. Put that in the comments on YouTube that you're a successful real estate investor. Just start telling anybody and everybody that you are a successful real estate investor, and you'll turn around and you will be a successful real estate investor. Now, you got to say now. I am a successful real estate investor now. Okay? So that is the first thing you should do, and that is the best thing that you can do, and it's free. And every one of you are going to talk to at least 5 people every single day, whether you talk to 100 or not. Whether you're just talking to your mom, your dad, your dog, the trash man, and your neighbor. I've already talked to 5 people today. Talk to my husband too. Tell everybody. All right? Even if your parents don't understand what you're doing, even if your husband doesn't understand what you're doing, even if they don't support or encourage you in what you're doing, tell them, because they also talk to people. I tried to buy all of my dad's golf friends' houses in the beginning because I was telling my dad that I was a successful real estate investor and I was going to buy houses. Then he was going golfing and telling all of his people, all of his buddies, that I was buying houses. And this is before I bought a house. So then they would call me and say, hey, your dad says you're buying houses. I got an empty house out in West Knoxville. Do you want to come buy it? And I'd say, yes, sure. And then I'd get to go practice my spiel, my pitch, my negotiating on my dad's golf buddies. I didn't buy any of those houses because it was my dad's golf buddies, and they were looking at me like I was 6 instead of like I was a super successful real estate investor. But I got to practice on houses and real live sellers, and I was taking myself seriously, even if they weren't. Okay, so that's the plan. Start telling anybody and everybody. And as soon as you can, get yourself a button. Okay, now, Lisa also says, thank you for doing these. Absolutely. I'm here to help. And I can help you if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm going to put that link right here. WendyNosley.com/TV. We put videos out on YouTube on Mondays and Thursdays, and those are videos that don't make it to Facebook. So you've got to be on the YouTube channel if you're going to see those videos. Okay, Shelly says, I know you prefer a house that's empty, but if you came across a deal that has tenants, would you begin collecting rent during the first month of the contract or the first month you make the payment for the owner financing? Does that make sense? Shelly, this question depends on your contract. You can, Sherry's done it, I've done it, you can, as soon as you get that property under contract, you can say, I'm not going to make any payments for 90 days. But I'm taking control of the property right now. That means any income that comes in is mine. Sherry did this on a vacation rental, and I talk about Sherry on the free masterclass. If you go to getyourfirstdeal.com, Sherry is my second example of a success student, a successful real estate investor, because Sherry buys vacation rental houses, and she gets her payments due in 90 days, But any stays that are on the books, she gets to collect that as income immediately. When I bought my apartments, they were fully occupied, but I didn't collect rent until we closed and I got a mortgage. So that's different. And in my houses, I've always made the tenants leave before I would take it on. And I get my payments due in 90 days. So if I get a tenant buyer in those first 90 days, I don't have to make a payment until my payment is due. But on all of my deals, as soon as I get somebody in, I make my first payment at the first of the following month. So today is June 18th. If I put somebody in my house and I didn't have a payment due until September, I would go ahead and start making my payment in July. Because once I get money in, then I want to go ahead and get it all set up. I want to get it all rolling. I want to go ahead and make my seller happy so that if I promised them it was going to be 90 days before I made my first payment, but I made it in 14 days, they would love me and they would be thrilled. To me, if I have somebody in the property, I should be making payments on it. So Shelly, I feel like if you have somebody in the property, you should be making payments on it, especially if those people gave you a non-refundable option fee. But if you're letting tenants stay in a house, you might want to keep 3 months worth of the rent before you start making the payment, because otherwise, if something breaks, you're not going to have any money to make the repairs with. You're going to have to come out of pocket. And I don't like it when you come out of pocket. So if you're taking over a house that's a regular rental, I think I would keep those payments for the first 90 days so that I had a piggy bank, so that if those people stopped making their payment, I would have some money that I could still make the payment and I wouldn't have to come out of pocket. And also, if the water heater exploded and I had to buy a water heater, I'd have some money and I wouldn't have to come out of pocket. But that seems like a very skinny deal, and I like big, fat deals. And that's why I like the house to be empty, because if the house is empty, somebody could pay me $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 to move into it, and then I got that money if they skip out and stop making the payments, which happens. So, Shelly, I hope I answered your question. It's a great question. I want more information though. Okay. So, alrighty. Those were all the questions. I do want your houses to be empty when you get them. And if not, it's going to depend on how you want to negotiate when the payments are due and how you get paid and all that stuff. So just be very, very careful and pay attention and sign up for First Still Done Fast, because I can help you dig into those details a lot more. And Janine is on. Janine closed her first deal. Yay! And it was a tax sale deal. Janine, what kind of deal did you close on? Tell me all about it. She gave me a thumbs up. And then Jessica's here. Hey, Jessica. We're also celebrating Anne. Anne got her 11th house under contract on Sunday. Yay! And we can celebrate Leslie because she put her 48th unit under contract yesterday. Leslie now has more properties than I do, and she is our first graduate of the She Buys It Mastermind, and God, that's just incredible. That's amazing. And she She has more properties than I do, and she did it in 1/5 of the time it took me to do my deals. So I could not be more proud of you. Yay! So we're celebrating Janine, we're celebrating Anne, we're celebrating Leslie, and we're celebrating Toya, because Toya has an owner financing house and she should be getting a new tenant in there by the 1st of July, which is like next week. Yay! Everybody's getting their deals done. I get so excited. Clearly. So anyway, that's the plan. I hope I answered everybody's question. If you have a question, you're welcome to post it in the group any old time. Or if you have a question you want me to answer, then every Monday at around noon Eastern time, we put a post up that says, what kind of questions do you have? And when that post comes out, you can type in any old question you got, and I will answer it on Tuesday. Please go subscribe to the She Buys It YouTube channel and subscribe to the She Buys It podcast, and be listening for those podcasts, because some of you are going to be featured on that podcast. If you want to be featured, send me a message, let me know, and I'll send you the link so that you can send me everything I need, your bio and your properties and all your stuff, so that we can get you on the podcast. Yay! All right. Y'all let me know if you have any questions that I can help you with. Drop them in the group any old time, or if you want me to answer them, then put them on that post on Monday. And I've got to go now because I've got another one-on-one call with the mastermind. Yay! I'll see y'all later. Bye.